Hey, this is Corey Richard. I am taking a break from doing some audio commercial advertisements for friends of mine. Not friends, actually for clients, right? People that I'm working with, affiliates. And I wanted to give you guys a history of Double E Productions. Nobody really knows a lot about the history. Some people in my circle do. But I was actually in college when I started shooting photography and creating flyers for friends of mine that were artists or trying to get into the music industry. And would go out and kind of help and and do that type of thing. But once I started going out, I was raised upstate New York. Once I started going out into the city and seeing the talent that was out there, I'm like, huh, this is some really good stuff. And I've been writing code and doing stuff with websites since the mid '90s. So I decided to combine my love for the arts with computers. I knew where this was going to go. I'm like, emails are going to turn into websites, are going to turn into this, going to turn into that. And so I had the vision. I was always a visionary, a little ahead of my time, even as a kid. Um, Sloman's has nothing on me when it comes to security from when I was a kid. So I started a magazine, an online magazine called DPUs. DPUs magazine, it turned into a live production show. There's two shows that I did, Women in the Arts and another one for Men in the Arts, which were staged. And then I created a Blue Note kind of dinner theater in Brooklyn with DPUs live. And did that for a good year or so. The restaurant that I was, for the summer, actually, the restaurant, um, they decided to change management and get out of the business. So that was at Aquaba, the Aquaba Cafe that they had near Mirrors on Lewis Avenue in Bed Stuy, and we filled it. We filled it. I mean, the first two shows were a little stark, but by the fourth show, it was full, and then by the end of the 6 months, it was standing room only. Both shows standing room only. The last four shows, which were the 2 months, they're only monthly. Standing room only. All five boroughs were there. They were successful, and the manager asked me back, but and actually we had people buying season tickets. I was selling season tickets for the next one, and we had two people that had already booked for the season tickets, and come to find out that Aquaba Cafe was going to be no longer. But just imagine where that could have gone. So I was always trying to find a space that was just easy. Finding somebody easy to work with and willing to take chances and go out there, but that was very hard to do. And so the next season was supposed to go to television, and it did not. So I decided to create my own show, and that was Kindred. Found some writers, and as it goes, in 2 days we had the cast. Very interesting, but on a longer note, I'll do that in an interview if anybody wants to interview me about that. Did Kindred, and in 2 weeks we produced a full half-hour trailer for a full 1 hour program, 45 minutes, basically 40 minutes, because we're going to have commercials. I went straight to wanting to do long form. I didn't think short form was going to work, and long form is what you see now, and everybody says, oh, people don't watch. They do. I mean, if ABC, they think that because you're independent, they're not going to watch a long form television show, and they will. I surveyed all 500 people out of the five shows that I premiered my show with. Maybe 99% of the people were willing to watch the full show. I had enough surveys with people writing what they thought about the show that we really didn't have to think too much on the writing. They were taking their lives and putting and writing it out. I still have the surveys today in one of these drawers behind me. And that was exciting for me to do Kindred and to really dive in and produce my own show. It didn't go anywhere in terms of actually taking it and fulfilling it, because none of the major corporations thought online television would go anywhere. You're talking about 2005 that this was done. We started in September 2005 and premiered it in October. I quit my job in November right? I think I quit my job in November, and been doing this ever since, and went from there and trying to find um, professionals to be on the network and come in on board. I'm an architect, and that's what I went to school for. I'm an architect who loves the arts and loves the creatives. I have a visionary mind and um, can see what's coming before it's even here. And so, I knew that long form television was going to be the place, but the people that turned me down were people like Oprah and the old magazine. Black Enterprise turned me down. Yes, I'm dropping names. Some other. Those were the two because I was chasing the black businesses because this was really for people of color. Uptown Magazine had a conversation briefly with them, and so, I wanted to partner with people that were doing things and take them to the next level and get on board with this online television because video content is the most powerful content that you can have in terms of media. And so I sat back, I pulled back, and decided just to do me, you know, um, do the best that I can with what I had. Go out and find people that were willing to take a chance. And um, a whole bunch of external drives later, and probably over 1,000 or so edits and shows and interviews, I'm still standing. And so that's why we want to stand taller, though. We want to be up in the clouds because where we're going and where we can go in the climate that we are in now, we're going to need to provide ourselves with jobs. And I'll talk about that in the next video. But that's a little history about Double E Productions, DPVN, and the newest form is I Am.